What is up, my beautiful people? Push one in the chat if you can hear me okay. I'm coming on early because my food I got delivered. I ended up they spilled half of the drink into the bag, and so I filed a report and complained, and so I got a credit back, but I tried to start eating the burger and it was like wet. So then I had like massive anxiety because I keep getting this rash and it goes away and then it comes back and then I'm just so frustrated over it. I'm one of those people and I understand, like, I'm going to talk through my anxiety with you guys really fast so that I can prove to myself that I can do it. Back in the day when I had anxiety like this, I would just quit and like not come. I would have canceled this. I would have done anything I could to avoid being here. But that doesn't help because when you have anxiety attacks, um your body subconsciously feels like you're helping your body to get away from danger when you avoid the situation. So like for me, for example, if I would have just not come up here and just decided to push the stream back or just canceled it altogether, my body would have reacted to that decision and that action by feeling as if I am safe now. So I eluded the problem. But when in fact, that is how you get to be in a state of agoraphobia, or where you start not doing things that you um, typically would want to see or do. So it is very important when you I can't eat red burgers either. Sorry, rash is back. I've been there. And I mean, it's not even a bad rash. Like, I'm one of those people where it's as if, like, something simple that happens to me versus somebody else, I become hypersensitive to it to the point where I just obsess. Like, what if, like, there was a time back in the day, I'm not as bad anymore, but back in the day, there was a time where I would get a headache, and my first thought would be, oh my God, it's a brain tumor. Like, how silly is that? It sounds so stupid to say it out loud, but it really was that way. And so, I don't know. It's just frustrating. Every time that I have an episode, it's almost as if it feels like I'm going backwards. Um, Hypochondriac diphtheria. Yeah, they don't call it that anymore. It's called something else, but it's the same concept. And it's necessarily like when you're a hypochondriac, it's usually when you do think that you have something that you don't have or you don't have any signs or symptoms of. But mine is more or less like I have the signs and symptoms, and then I'm convinced that it's worse than what it actually is. But it's the same concept. I have had it to the point my body shuts down. See, I don't ever shut down. And that's almost like I had this panic program, and I'm going to get to talking about John O'Keefe. So, oh my goodness, I'm just logging on what's happening. Oh, nothing's happening. I'm just coming on here a little bit early because I have really bad anxiety and politically correct, obsessive and intrusive thoughts. It's terrible. Yes, that's what it is. But at first, I was asking you guys if you wanted me to go show the memorial site for Juan Sebastian, which it has to be one of the two ponds. And and then I got my food because I ordered food and I ordered just a plain burger and then I ordered a soda, which I'm gonna start not drinking so much soda. I really need to cut it out. It's not healthy. I used to drink water all the time. I started drinking soda and then basically just all went downhill. But I got my food and the driver didn't secure my soda. So half of my soda was in the bottom of the bag, all spilled. And then I thought I could be okay with it. So I started trying to eat the burger and it was like it was wet. And so then I just like literally started breaking out again. It's really not bad. It's really not bad. So it's like soda is the worst thing for your teeth. Yeah, I know. I've always had bad teeth, so that doesn't help, I'm sure. But I got a message underneath my video from this morning of somebody really being very upset that I drove for 2 minutes while I live streamed. I love that for them. I get anxiety just driving down the road. I get chest pains, can't believe, and get dizzy. Complain to them about your food, take pictures. I did. They gave me a credit back to the account so I could order something else, which I might do that later, but I don't know. Maybe it's better if I just sit and chill out for a minute. But thank you. Important to count when you breathe. Start with 5 seconds in and out, then six, seven until you get to 10. Yeah, I have so many different techniques that I followed. Thank you. Are the highs from stress? I don't think so, but you never know. I think the highs are either a viral thing or they are hormone related, which I mean, that's actually stress. So, um, I'd like to see the memorial later. You should start doing a self-help group. I love talking to you. You're awesome. I love that. And actually, I really could totally see myself doing that. That was one of the reasons why I started my channel, is because I got up here a couple times. Well, all right, let me start from the beginning. I know I can go all over the place, and you guys aren't following very well when I do it that way. So I got to start from the beginning. Um, I started my channel originally. The first one I had was because I got blocked from a channel, and I felt very passionate about what I was trying to say. And so when I got blocked, I felt like I had to speak out some sort of way, and the only way that was possible was to make my own channel. And then I went against the person that blocked me. But after that was all settled, I started thinking, well, maybe if I could make a difference from other people, because I used to have really bad anxiety to the point where I didn't want to leave the house. I didn't enjoy life anymore. And it's not that I was depressed, it's just that I would have anxiety when I would go out. And PJ Bitchin has been around for a while before. Yes, I've been around for a long time. And it's funny when I find people within the community that are like, or they've been around me. It's crazy to me because they're like, oh my God, where have you been? It's like we were having some kind of reunion. But hey Teresa. But what I was saying was that so I finally, got done doing the back and forth with the original channel, and then I decided like, well, maybe I could do something to do shows about anxiety because I always want to help people. Like it is my deep desire to try and help others. Like I'm more happy in life when I feel like I've accomplished goals, and my goals are always oriented towards helping other people. And so I thought, okay, well, maybe I'll just do that and that'll be great. So I tried that, but it's like it's very hard to come up here and actually be 100% fully like 999999999% real about everything and every aspect of every life, and to say exactly how you feel. Um, One example for me, a lot of people say when they see me here on my channel versus when they see me on Dolly Vision, when I'm up there with him, they're seeing night and day and different personalities. And that's because I don't want to go to his channel and say something that might upset one of his viewers. So, like, if I truly feel like Sebastian Rogers is a dead end case that I don't feel like I'm interested in following anymore, I'm not going to go onto his channel to say that, because then he's going to have people in his chat saying, well, your girlfriend doesn't think that Seth is innocent, or. And so, like, I have to kind of shield my realness there versus when I'm here. And that's kind of what I started to have issues with when I had my channel, where I started talking about anxiety. People would always I always felt like I said things incorrectly. Like I didn't mean to say what somebody had heard me say. And then it would be like, wait a minute. It's like, am I really a foreign person? Like I came here when I was 7 and I didn't speak English. So do I really just not speak English correctly? Why is it that I'm having such a hard time with people to understand me? And all that went away. I started kind of participating in the back and forth and the drama, and it was actually fun for me at one point. But then, that comes back to haunt you, because the person will take you at your weakest moments. They'll find something that you've said, take it completely out of context, and utilize it against you to attack you with. Like for me, I've always said, if I won the lottery tomorrow and I had $1 million, I would literally go get a full set of teeth. And I really truly feel like that would make, like, I can't even explain the happiness that I would feel. Like I can't even say it without like halfway grinning when I'm talking about it because I've just always had bad teeth. But me saying that has allowed people, to pinpoint, oh, well, she's self conscious about her teeth. Let's grill her about her teeth. So it's hard to be 100% real up here and to be able to discuss, stuff like anxiety. It's as real as it gets. So I've kind of hesitated behind it and not really gone full force into it. But I do believe that's one of my passions. And YouTube is the worst place for anxiety. Not always, but basically, it's like I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I think you kind of get what I'm saying, but I have Benadryl. I took Benadryl. That's probably why I'm starting to chill out. But and see, like I would totally have driven you to the memorial by now, but I get self-conscious. Like it's like I question everything that I do. And I don't, it's not that I necessarily don't think highly of myself. I mean, I love myself. I respect myself. I know that I do things, you know, um, for the reason where I feel like I'm doing it for the right reason, and that's all I can do. But I mean, it's like uh, just a little comment like, "How dare you drive and live stream?" Which, like I said, it was like 2 minutes. Makes me not want to go do that anymore. Like it's just like, do you really have to write comments like you're writing on certain people's channels? Like it's just like I don't know, it's icky. I don't like it. But thank you. It's that KI Blanks that became a member. Thank you so much. I got so into talking that I completely just zoned out. Oh my god, I was crying earlier with teeth anxiety. Yeah, I had to go to the orthodontics on Monday to go look and talk about the plan for further teeth advancement with my daughter. And they want to take out 4 teeth. And I'm trying to explain to this man that like I'm terrified of the dentist and I have a hard time with anything dentist related. And so for you to sit here and tell me that you want to take 4 of my daughter's natural, happy, healthy, loving teeth out of her mouth, it terrifies me because I get they're doing it to try to make space for the other teeth. But in my mind, it's like, what if she loses a tooth and then like she needs that tooth that you done took out? You know what I mean? I just, oh my God, it's always something. Never a dull moment. Me too. I would also rather go to that rather than the dentist all day. So I'll probably end up going to the memorial maybe tomorrow since I've already talked you guys to death and I'm starting to really feel better. And I really want to discuss John O'Keefe because it is an anniversary date of when he was found on the lawn of 34 Fairview. And it makes me so sick that this woman that he was dating that supposedly loved him and his kids he adopted is just out here doing all she can to slander him and his family and just I can't stand it. I can't wait for there to be another trial. Um but while I say that, I can also understand why people that defend her as hard as they do. And I can understand that the actual investigation of the case wasn't really done to the best of their ability, in my opinion. There was a lot of, for example, Trooper Proctor came to scene and instantly had a bias towards Karen for whatever reason, because he got to the scene and felt like she had done it, that he didn't suspect any other or look into any other avenues of who could have possibly done it. And so, um, they made me crank the thing in my daughter to spread out her mouth, and I wanted teeth removed instead. They wouldn't. Expanding her jaw and changing her face, I did not like. Yeah, see, they tried that with my child, and then now they're saying that that's no longer possible. Thank you, Judy. Thank you so much. Oh, you're awesome. I won't tell them you said that. Thank you. I appreciate it so very much. Thank you. They told us my daughter needed 4 teeth removed. Got a second opinion. They said we will give it a year, let her lose 2, and that will be all that. And see, my daughter got her teeth like I feel like it was super early. Like she lost her first tooth when she was either like 6 or 7. And so for me, I don't know necessarily that there's other teeth or whatever that will come out, or I don't know how that works. But I would rather would rather just I don't know, I would rather just wait and not remove teeth. It's like perfectly good teeth. Like what I would do to have one of my teeth back, man. It's just I can't even explain it. My appointment in 2 hours, Coco. Good luck with that. PJ, tell Dolly I'll heckle Karen with him any day. Heck yeah. I was gonna say I had to wear a Frankel years ago to grow the bone in my mouth. So with today's technology, I can't imagine the things they can do. I mean, they can do a lot when they pull out four teeth, apparently. Just remember you have your own personal feelings about teeth, so you're lightweight bias regarding the way you might possibly feel with your children. Yes, and I understand that, but I also looked at the factors of both of us, his side of the family and him. He's missing teeth. And then I'm witnessing the way that my child has been not really brushing like I would like her to, and which I don't even think that matters. Honestly, I think that the health industry here is really not nice by not declaring the fact that teeth issues are sometimes hereditary. They just basically say like, "Oh, you don't brush and are on drugs," or there's always some kind of excuse that's not related to like something out of your control. Like I get that you could always cut sugar and that would help, but even then, like I've gone through periods of time where I have done all of the above. I literally brought a toothbrush to work. I brushed before I left. I brushed after I ate every meal, and I still had cavities and bad teeth. So it's like I honestly think teeth issues are hereditary and you can't really change my mind. They shouldn't have to pull out good teeth. There has to be exactly. Thank you. That's exactly what I said. And he was sitting there, that orthodontist was sitting there preaching me a pitch of like, he was like trying to sell me her removal of her teeth as like the best plan available for me. And I'm just sitting there like, no, no, sir. However, my daughter did have a pointy chin, so I was amazed at how the tightening thing and braces helped. Yeah, I mean, my bestie's missing teeth too, and very self-conscious about it. Dental insurance for yeah, exactly. Dental insurance is god awful. I didn't even see it coming when I had the infection where my whole face swelled last year, and then they gave me the partial because I had one missing back here to where it could like line up. I felt like $1,000,000. Like I was smiling, like, and it didn't really even look that great. Like you could tell that it wasn't my real teeth, and it kind of just was like this cheap ghetto version of a partial. But I felt like I had all my teeth, and I finally kind of felt like I could smile. And then my dog ate my partial. And I don't know what's wrong with Wrangler or why he's such a jerk, but he will literally like I will get something that I've absolutely wanted or I've saved for, and he'll eat it like the next day. It's not even normal as to how he even gets a hold of it. I just don't even understand. Sometimes he'll dig into my purse and it'll be at the bottom of my purse and he'll find it at the very bottom. Um, yeah, and then eat it. He's done that with my I had coach glasses, reading glasses that I got one time. He did that with. I had a gaming headset he did that with. And could the hives be from painting at work? I mean, it's possible. I didn't even think about that. Get your daughter a water pick. I found one for $30. We have one. We have a water pick. We have all the fancy stuff you could possibly think of. It's kind of going down a little bit. It's okay. But I don't know. Second opinion for sure. And then like when I explained to him that I just didn't see any reason for it, he's like, "Well, we could continue on with the stretching of the mouth, but you're going to suffer severe consequences from it in the end." And I'm seriously like, you said suffer consequences, sir. Excuse me. So like, I'm literally like in the back of the room and I'm like, excuse me, sir, suffer severe consequences. That's what I heard just now. Right. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, what are we going to face the death penalty? Like, what do you mean by suffer severe consequences? I mean, you tell. So he's like, well, no, that's not what I meant. I just meant like, we're going to get to a point in time here soon, sooner versus later, to where you're going to have to recognize that my opinion is right, or, we're just going to have to take the braces out and say fuck it, basically. And I'm like, God, you're an asshole. Like I'm not a fan of you, sir. is what I was thinking, but I didn't say that out loud. Yes, get a second opinion to make you feel better, get another opinion. Yeah, and that's another thing. It's just like it's difficult to go as it is. Like I have to stop work and go to the appointment. It's like 20 minutes away. It's like it's just always something. I could find something to complain about at all point in time. So like, it's just you got to do it. I'm sorry, PJ, but I'm dying laughing with what you said about your fur baby. They're the best, but they can be. I mean, he literally, it's like he hates my guts. He did it with my coach glasses. Like I said, I had finally gotten insurance. I was able to finally get glasses to be able to see on top of contacts. Like I always get contacts, but I was able to get glasses. I was so excited about these damn glasses. I was just, and he actually looked at me like I was crazy when I first got him. And he tried to kind of just, he tried to get the glasses off my face when I first had him on, but he started getting used to it. And like I swear, a couple days later, you don't hear him for a good second, and it's like he's damn sure over somewhere eating something that I love. But okay. You are your child's advocate. Always trust your gut feeling. Yeah, I know. It's just hard to like. I always feel like I'm being an asshole. That's another thing. It's like I'm very blunt, and I'll tell you exactly how it is or how I feel or whatever. But I'm like, I still try to like shelter feelings at times. I still try to not I don't ever want to come off as being completely just brazen to the point where I don't care about anybody's feelings. Like I mean, I just don't want to hurt people's feelings or be nasty, but I mean, that's just how I feel. It's like you're not going to change my mind on this one. You're just not. But I'm eventually going to get to John O'Keefe. I actually took notes with John O'Keefe. So, um cluster card. I gotta pull out these cards. I actually have the deception deck in front of me for this one. He's so darn cute. My granddog got my glasses overnight when I was asleep. That's how he got my partial. I was falling asleep and it was really new for me. Like I'd probably had it for like a couple of weeks max, if that. And so I was actually falling asleep for whatever reason. I couldn't stay awake and I was falling asleep. And so I put my partial on a um napkin of some sort. I don't even remember what I was doing really, but it was like on the top of my dresser. And I'll just soak it in the morning and everything's fine, whatever. I wake up in the middle of the night, again, same scenario. And this dog is literally like you hear the crunching of the freaking partial. He's just stomping away like he's eating. I mean, it's not normal. It's just not normal. And then he just gets so freaking like he gets like his sight on something and he hones in on it and like you literally have to fight him to get it back. So like he's chewing my partial and having just his best life. He's chewing it like it's a filet mignon steak. Like he literally just, and so it's like 4 o'clock in the morning and I hear the crunching and I'm like freaking out and he's freaking out and he's not spitting it out. So I literally freaking flip him over because that's usually how it works. If I flip him upside down, his whole body pick him up and flip him upside down, he'll usually spit what he wants to chew on. He'll usually spit it out. But I mean, it's bad. And I've never had a dog that's that naughty ever. And I've had dogs. So like I don't know what the problem is or why he got to be so naughty, but I don't know. My granddaughter stole my daughter's lipstick right in front of us, and she actually put it on, was around her mouth. It was hilarious. They should have handed you your drink, not put it in the bag. Yeah, I've never seen them put an actual drink inside of the bag like that. It was this giant bag, and the drink was just tipped right over inside of the bag. I don't know. Damn dogs like my Wally, he's a golden doodle, but he's got a jaw like I lost like a pit bull. Yeah. I didn't realize French bulldogs actually have lockjaw. Let's see. Cluster changing tenses, spotting hoaxes, and there was something else. Bulldogs are the best. And thank you guys, everybody that comes in and watches and listens and participates. I appreciate you guys more than you know. It definitely helps to have a little bit of extra funding and it helps to get to be able to speak things out. For me, it's like therapy. So you guys are really helping me. As you see, I'm not panicking anymore. and I feel very accomplished because, like I said in the beginning of this, I usually would have ran out somewhere. If I was anxious, I would have quit whatever it is that I was wanting to do, and I just forced myself to come up here, and it helps. It really helps. So, anybody of you that is possibly facing any kind of anxiety where you have a panic attack and you're scared to go, speak to someone in public, like public speaking, or if you're scared to go to a concert or to the mall, even, I used to have a hard time going to the mall. Um, I would highly suggest to work on just going in there and doing it. And even if you stay anxious the whole time you're in there, you'll feel better when you're done in the end because you will feel like you have accomplished things. And that's what helps because, like I said earlier, again, you don't do it, then your body starts, and you don't even realize that you're doing it. And you don't even really realize why it's being done or how your body works in this way. But it's like, when you get in that panic mode, it's a fight or flight response. And then when your body sees that, oh, I didn't go and do this live stream, and now I'm no longer in danger, because eventually you're always going to calm down. Like, you can't stay freaked out or panicked for but a certain amount of time. It always goes away. And so when your body knows, hey, I was going to do this, it scared me, and then I didn't do it. So therefore, I'm safe when I don't do it. So you start trying to avoid things that you don't want to do. Stuff that you get anxious about, you start avoiding them because your body has convinced you, hey, if I don't do that, I won't be in danger. But okay, I found the spotting hoaxes. And the reason that I believe that Karen Reed is guilty, and again, I'm going to really, really, really hyper focus on the fact that I understand that they didn't really investigate her crime very well. The scene wasn't properly handled, and a lot of the officer had biases towards Karen. And the previous evidence that we received from the first trial, I guess, pretty much wasn't sufficient enough to declare her as the culprit. And I mean, I agree with that. So, saying all that, I still believe two things can be right at the same time. Hey, Jax. So I believe that her case was not properly investigated, and I also have and always will believe that she did, in fact, in a drunken rage, clip John with a vehicle. So yeah, she's guilty in my opinion, and the reason that I feel that way. So, uh, first of all, and this is just based on the Deception Detective where I started, as for how I'm going to explain it to you guys, but there's so much more that I could go on and on. I mean, I would love to have this conversation with somebody that's actually super pro Karen Reed, but we would have to agree to disagree when it got to a point of a head in head where it's like you can't move any farther. Like, there's people that just simply, they think, oh, the officer in charge was biased, so therefore everything that he says is null and void, and that's not true for me. But so from the one episode that detective did, it said basically, it started out with how she says that she went to go drive around to go looking for John, but she didn't, supposedly she didn't know where he was or what happened or how he got there or whatever else. She called three of John's friends, and so it's almost as if she was gathering witnesses. She told, I believe it was Jen, she told one of the friends that, first of all, she told Carrie that he was dead. She told Jen that she thinks she left him at Waterfall Bar and Grill, which is not true. She left him at Fairview. Um, and she's like, certain words. Okay, and this is the cluster card. Let me see if I can find the card before I get into this. I actually took notes, so I thought I was going to be really good at going over this with you guys, but I'm still not that great because it's like I feel like I have so much to say, and I want it all to come out at the same time, and that doesn't come out very well usually. So, cluster card, the cluster card. Where are you, cluster card? And for anybody that doesn't know, these are the Deception Detective cards. This is the deception deck. She did change tense, and there is possessive pronouns. Tessa, da 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 da, cluster. All right, cluster. So basically, any one of these, if you find that somebody is doing an interview and maybe they do one of these, um, it's not very conclusive to be able to say, okay, they're clearly a liar because of this one thing. You have to kind of collectively analyze everything they say. And the more check marks you have on the list, the more times that you recognize that they're doing things that are deceptive, the more you can try and, be able to prove that they're not being truthful. So, cluster. This is a cluster card. I don't know. Is this? It's not mirrored, so that's not really helpful. Let me just read it to you guys. And hey, everybody that's coming in, please make sure you hit that like button. I have 119 and 73 likes. Um, it helps the algorithm, and it helps me get noticed and more. They recommend the feed to more people. So, cluster. It's important to remember that honest individuals don't always communicate flawlessly. If a statement exhibits only one or two potential indicators of deception, and I literally just said this, but if a statement exhibits only one or two potential indicators of deception, it's more likely to be truthful. Being cautious about labeling a statement as deceptive based on isolated red flags can help minimize the risk of false positives. In 2010, Clint Dunn's daughter disappeared in an interview. He unexpectedly used the past tense, remarking, I just said it. Oh my God, I believe my little girl is dead. His use of the past tense about a missing person might raise questions about his involvement. However, considering this was the sole deception indicator in the statement, it's more prudent to ignore it as a fluke. In such a scenario, consider the volume and proximity of deceptive statements for the most accurate assessment. So, whereas you held the card upside down. It's just mirrored. It's reversed. And I don't know how to unmirror it. So you're seeing it like as if I'm holding it up to a mirror. But what thing that she said was uh she experienced a she's never experienced a pain. How did she say it? She said she's never experienced a fear in her. She's no, wait. Let me read it how I wrote it. She experienced a fear in her she has never felt before. Hmm. She has experienced a fear in her that she had never felt before. My AirPod fell out. Hopefully, you guys could still. Another thing, that dog's eaten like 4 pairs of AirPods. That's another thing. Like, I was missing my right AirPod on one of my AirPod sets, and the dog found it. Another thing, I literally freaking look over and he's just crunching on something, and I go running because I'm like, what the hell are you eating? It shouldn't be anything. And he's done found my missing AirPod, and he's done just, I can't. The dog makes me so mad. Well, thank you. These are sunglasses I got for Jimmy for his birthday one year that I stole because I look better in them. I was just telling mom, she was cracking up. She calls Gunnar Dennis the Menace. Yeah, I mean, some dogs just are just very rambunctious. I'm gonna use the word rambunctious. So do you guys see why that's a deceptive statement? It's like she counters her statement with a double negative. I had a dog that only ate one shoe of each pair. Yeah, see, that would piss me off too. But I mean, if it wasn't every time that he's eaten something, it's been something that's like stupid expensive. Like, can you eat like a dollar store item, please, sir? Because like 3 AirPods, a freaking Coach pair of glasses, gaming headset, my partial, um, not cool, dude. So then we have changing tenses. This is another reason why and how you can spot detection is when you're telling a story. Like, if I told you what I did yesterday when I went to go see if there was a memorial for Juan Sebastian, I could tell you what happened, how it happened. I would tell it in the past tense. But when you are a deceiver, showing signs of deception, you are highly likely to do some of these things that are underlined on these cards. And one of the things is changing tense in your story. The story about Summer Wells, the family did it. Um, there was a couple of different cases where they did it. I'm not saying stories. Hey, Helena, good to see you. But Karen did it, and it was again in that statement that where she had never felt that type of fear. Um, she changed the tenses. She was worried that he got hit by a plow. If you truly don't have any idea or clue as to what happened to your significant other, you're not going to name off scenarios or what possibly could have happened, which is why she found herself in hot waters because one of the other things she named was that she thought she might have done something to him herself. And we need to raise money for PJ to get her dog some training. We need to go stay a trainer 2 to 4 weeks. He will be, yeah, see, I agree, and that would be amazing. Only thing is, you, the owner, the human, are the one in the end that has to be able and willing and have the time. And that's why people say, oh, get a dog, they're amazing, you need to have a dog, and dogs are so cool. Dude, dogs are hard work. Dogs are not easy. You have to have time, which is the most important thing you have in your life. You have to have money, energy. You have to have it's a lot of work, especially when you get a daggone dog that's like my dog and he's just bad. I've never had a single dog that just seriously, I've never had a dog that thank you, Dumpling, that I couldn't train like that. It just really was just I cried so many times because I don't take the dog out. I used to take my dogs, every dog I've had, I used to take them to like PetSmart and they would be walking around and this dog he won't. He will literally try to attack everybody that walks anywhere near us. Um he just it's like no matter what, and his leash behavior, holy shit, I mean that's a whole nother story. He will make his paws bleed before he'll actually let me lead him around like a normal dog on a leash. It's terrible. Leos and arms. Dogs are hard work, and you can't go on holidays. Got to be able to trust somebody. Exactly. And I'm thankful that my parents, man, my parents helped me so much. I don't know what I would do without my parents. And basically, they help so much, and the dog is able to go there with him. I believe we're going to take him with us on the trip that we go to Tennessee here soon, and that's going to be a challenge all in itself. Wrangler's acting up. Dumpling, you don't even know. He's an asshole and a half. He needs a timeout corner. Yeah. He gets mad when I try to roll over in the morning when I wake up and I accidentally nudge him because I'm rolling over. He literally growls at me. I'm like, motherfucker, this is my house. What are you talking about, dude? Like, how dare you? But he don't care. I never had children, but I've always had bulldogs. I love them. They crack me up. Oh, his personality's on point. He will side eye you like I have to post a meme. I made a meme of him from a long time ago where he's like doing this side eye, and it's like the perfect image for a meme. Well, he just needs some tools to communicate better. Yeah, I think, and I told Dolly the other day, I think he needs a treadmill or a hamster wheel or something. Take lots of Tylenol, Motrin for headaches. Yeah. All right, so let me just get back to it. I know I titled the stream about John O'Keefe. It's a definite anniversary date for him of where he was last alive. And try skateboard, it's great. Oh, I wonder if the dog would skateboard. That'd be pretty cool. I was going over this is the changing tenses. Liars often fluctuate between past and present tense, reflecting a shift from recalling actual memories. In the past tense, to fabricating details in the present tense. If a statement suddenly switches to present tense, it may include fabrication. We have a chow chow. He never really chewed things. What? My dog chews everything. And I should have known that he was going to be a problem because my ex-husband was actually a welder. So he had stuff in the house that was rebar. For those of you guys that don't know, it's just a type of metal. And it was like bar stools he had made, and the legs were rebar. The dog was like 13 weeks old, and he literally chewed on the arms of the freaking bar chairs. So there's that. Um, okay. So Spotting hoaxes. This is the last card I'm going to go over. Hopefully, I can fit it all in. So Karen Reed, in my opinion, is guilty. She's hoaxing. Usually, when you have to build a story and tell it like a hoax, it's not truthful. Um, she said he's right there. He's right fucking there. When they drove by him. First of all, it seems as if she got people so that she'd have witnesses before she found John. And then when they all got into the car and were driving and went to Fairview, um, before anyone even had any idea there was anybody in the snow, Karen Reed shouts out, "He's right fucking there." Instead of saying, like, "Oh my God, what is that right there? Oh my God, stop. Like, let me look over here. There's something possibly over here." She knew exactly where he was at. And in my opinion, knew exactly how he got there. But I also believe that she went there earlier that morning and figured out that he was actually there because of all the stuff that was done in between. I feel like she definitely got the witnesses together to be able to have witnesses. And when somebody's telling you the truth, it's very easy. It's a simple story. It's like start story, end story, the end, bye. When somebody's lying, they sorry, or if somebody's done something wrong, they will start out the story by explaining something that's important to the storyline, but making an excuse for it so that when you happen to see it later, that you won't question it. Like, for example, when she met up with the three friends of John's, she told one of them, "I think I hit something with my car. My tail light looks like it's broken," you know, that. And so her dad does the same thing. When her dad is on that interview that he was featured on, he says, "Oh, well, Karen called and then the next day she told me that she believes she might have hit something. And then, we went over the tail light and we figured she must have backed up into the other, so it's like you're putting out this information to the public, in my opinion, simply to get in front of what's going to come out once the people see the evidence for themselves. But basically, she does that a lot. And she definitely speaks of John in the past tense, doesn't use his name. When she changes the story to present tense, it's as if those are the parts that are fabricated. But she basically just doesn't cry or act like it's upsetting to her that her boyfriend is dead. She told people that he was dead when he wasn't dead. I mean, any one of us, I know we're mostly all female here, so any one of us has a significant other. What I would ask you to do is imagine your situation and it's you, and for whatever reason, your significant other is hit or beat up or whatever may happen. You find him in the lawn and he's unresponsive and he looks like he's not alive. Are you going to say, my God, he's dead? Or actually, are you going to say, oh my God, he's dead before you even get to the scene and supposedly find him? Or are you going to be more like, no, he can't be dead. This can't be true. I refuse to believe he's dead. That's not possible. He was alive last night. He was alive and well, and he's going to be alive again later. Like, if you truly love this individual and you don't want them to be dead, or you don't realize that something traumatic and seriously bad happened, to where he's now dead, you're not going to you're not going to instantly tell people around you that he's dead before he's pronounced dead, because technically you don't even know that he's dead unless you know that you hit him the night before, and that's why you know he's dead, because there's no other rhyme or reason for somebody to tell anyone else that, hey, this man is dead, when he just got found. He just got the paramedics there. He's being flown to the hospital or driven to the hospital. And nobody actually officially says he's dead. Like, you're gonna have to freaking sedate me before you tell me that my man's dead. And then even then I'm gonna be like, no, no, he's not. You're lying to me. See what I'm saying? It's like there was a disconnect there. And I could tell this type of thing to so many people that are in like Free Karen Reed movement. If you say FKR, it sounds more or less like F her, like not in a good way, but hey, that's their choosing and their name they chose. But I think she's guilty because she went, picked people up, went back to his apartment. Something, thank you. I got a pretty flower. And I can't remember the lady's name, but the one woman said that she seen them there. So you're saying that somebody saw her coming back there before she went to pick up the friends? Yeah, it was the dog. Remember, PJ, not Karen. Although there's no dog DNA or bite marks, unreal if you believe the dog did it. I don't even think they're going to go with the dog theory anymore because they found Chloe. They took the impressions of Chloe's bite and they were going to go over all of that. And now it's like they kind of stopped talking about that. I could never purposely hurt someone, especially someone you love, and then show little emotion. It's odd. Yes. Um, I think that what happened, and this is just my opinion only, I think what happened is that Karen kept trying to hold on to her man that was slowly trying to pry her away from him. And she was refusing to take no for an answer, like, I'm here to stay type of actions. And this is based on stuff that's been said, stuff that his niece and nephew that he adopted have said, stuff that, came out in testimony. But basically she would get jealous of anything that walked. And so John couldn't enjoy any family time where other women were in the same vicinity because she would chew them out and be nasty. Um, while she was actually doing stuff like that that's frowned upon with other men. So like it's weird that you're actually the guilty one and you're deflecting your guilt onto somebody else, in my opinion. But she was over it, didn't want to go to these people's house after they were at the bar drinking. I guess she just wanted to go home and be with her man, which is understandable, but they decided they're going to keep and drive over to the house to have that after party. And so when they couldn't figure out what this house was, Jen McCabe on her testimony stated that she described the directions by mentioning a certain ex-girlfriend of John's house. Like, oh, you just got to go by Bella's house and it's on the right, or however she said it. I don't know the exact. I'm just telling you what I can remember. It was something to that nature. And so being Karen, we watched her drink 9 vodka sodas. And so at that point, she's slammed, in my opinion, to the point of no return. Like she's out there. And she gets angry when any women is mentioned and she gets jealous and she acts like a freaking raging bitch and she's drunk and it's been escalating. You got to remember her the stuff started in Aruba and then just went and was escalating. The more and more that he tried to get away from her, the more she's trying to cling on to dear life, and he's just, get away from me, Karen, get away from me, Karen. And so like her inside, and I can relate to this because I feel like this sometimes, nothing to this extent, but I could totally see her being drunk out her mind. We hear her, angrily express herself whenever there's women involved. And now Janice done mentioned this Bella's mom. And then he's still wanting to go, even though she's like, fuck this, fuck you, and fuck all these people. And when he gets out, because me, if I was in a situation like that, not exactly like that, I would never be in that situation. But like, let's say I was in an argument with my man, and then he chooses to get out of the vehicle instead of come home with me or whatever. First of all, I'm never leaving the house. I'm gonna go up in there and drag your ass out because I care. I would never leave my man there with, even if they're cops or even if they're his good friends. I would want to resolve what it is that we had, and I would want to try to you know, get to the bottom of whatever. But I could totally see her in that moment get really upset that he actually chooses to get out of the car to want to go to this party still, even though, they're fighting and she's wanting to spend time with him and he clearly doesn't reciprocate. So I could totally see her out of an angry rage, just gas it and, possibly accidentally hit him. I don't think she set out that morning and decided, hey, we're going to go get drinks and then I'm going to mow my man over. Like, I don't think it was like that. But I do think that when you drink and drive, you are, you have the choice to do that. When you choose to do it, you're willingly doing it. Nobody's forcing you to do it, and then nobody's forcing you to drive after the fact. So, I mean, I think she should have to suffer for her actions. You've always got to have consequences for bad behaviors, and I just think that it really is necessary um, for her to face her charges. She just But that's just my opinion on what happened. I don't necessarily know that they're going to be able to prove that's what happened or how it happened because, you can't get inside the lady's mind. But it is what it is. Yes, she got ticked off. Yes, you should never drink and drive. Yeah, and all them cops were drinking and driving. I mean, clearly there's something wrong with everybody in that area, and the cops are not doing what they're supposed to be doing. We need to like revamp the freaking system somehow because you can't have all these cops doing this type of stuff and then, they're out here arresting people that are doing the same thing. And yet, they do it. So it's like you can't hold me to a different standard when you're the one that's doing it too. But I would have to come clean for my own sanity. I agree. I would have a mental breakdown because that's a lot of my anxiety. Again, we're going to swing back to that. My anxiety is usually if I have to lie to somebody for whatever reason, you never really have to lie. But in my opinion, like I sometimes would have to lie. I get anxiety having to lie, knowing that at some point in time I'm going to slip up possibly and say what the truth is. So like, and I don't know. I'm just so like different. Not many people are like me, and that's like my downfall and my greatest trait I've heard. But for me, the definition of anxiety is an inner battle within yourself where you know in your heart that you have to do something and your brain doesn't want to do it, or vice versa. Your brain, you know that you have to do it, your heart doesn't really truly want to do it. And it's a constant battle within the two. Yay, lunchtime live. Yeah, I've been here for a while. And now I finally got 100 likes. I could go now and have a great day. Let's see. My arm's looking a lot better. I'm starting to feel a little bit drowsy though. That's okay. It's not that bad. And it never moved anywhere from other than just my arms. But whatever. I'm not dying. I'm not going to anaphylaxis. I'm not having my throat close up. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. And get behind me, Satan. Because I don't have that fear or that problem, or I've never had that happen to me before. I know it's happened to people for the first time, so don't tell me. But it's such an irrational fear when I say it out loud. It's just ridiculous. Like, oh, I have this teeny tiny rash, and dear God, I'm dying. Like, get over yourself. But yeah. On that note, y'all have been amazing. Thanks so much for being here with me. Thanks so much for all of the support that you guys give me. I appreciate all of you. And I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Bicycle.